Another way that I've mentioned on how people try to manipulate energies is through programming energies around them. And passive aggressiveness is one of the things that you can do with that manipulation of energies, is trying to program someone else's projections onto that energy. And our energies are so receptive that we will pick it up and become it and not realize it, especially if we're open to it. And so when someone's trying to push something onto another energy, trying to manipulate it, trying to make it, program it, project onto it, projection is what it is. It's projection from their mental body over to another mental body. And if you, like I said, if you can absorb those energies, then you could take that on. If you don't know how, that's why you have to learn how to defend your energy and how to call your energy back, and then how to fortify it, so things like projections don't work. And so, but what someone else is trying to do is essentially put their will onto another person's energy, which is completely against universal laws. And that's why you can call down judgment from God. That's why you can call down justice, especially when you're not doing anything to any other energies, and they're trying to project their energy onto you. You can return it to sender, or you can just give it to God. You give it to your ancestors, you give it to your archangels, you give it to the angels, you give it to God, and He'll take care of it. You have to let go completely, though. You got to release it. You got to be like, this isn't mine. I don't want to. Please take it from me and do something about it, because it is what it is. It's a negative energy that's coming at you for nothing that you did. So you haven't done anything wrong, then you don't have to take on someone else's energy, and you can send it back to them, and then they have to deal with the energy that they projected onto you, and that was through their own will and their own free will choice. And so, but one of the ways that that can be done, though, for manipulation, is when somebody tries and influences you, or tries to make you tries to make you believe a certain thing about yourself or about others. That's manipulation. That's manipulation of someone else's energy. And so it's trying to influence someone into their way of thinking. And a lot of us, like I said, we absorb those energies, and if we're open to that. If we know better and we're awakened enough, then we won't. You have to be like, no, I'm not going to let you manipulate my energy. That's not the way that I'm not trying to manipulate your energy. So quit trying to manipulate my energy, type deal. You have to take your own energy back, and then you have to own it. And then, like I said, and you send back the energies of everyone else. Then you call your energies back to you, and then you own your energies, and then you can fortify it with other energetic protection, where like projections and stuff like that don't work. And then they have to deal with if any energies that are negative come toward you, and you're not meaning any like I said, you're not meaning any other energies ill intent or negative intent, then they can't do that to you. So you just send them back. You create a shield of energy that sends it back to them, and then they have to deal with that projected energy onto you. It gets further and harder too, especially with black magic and dark forces and other energetic manipulation. Energy is energy. It's all around us, makes up everything, and there are different ways that it speaks to us, and that we can interact with it within our environment. And the things that's the thing about it, like all the energy around us, there's a purpose to all energy. There is a mission. That's what I love on the Sandman, when Death says that, like my purpose is my mission, and my mission is my purpose. Like I was like, yes, that's what it is. Like when you walk in your purpose, you're doing what you're intended to do, what your purpose and your mission is. Your purpose and your purpose is your mission. You do both. You be to become. You become to be. Same idea. It reinforces itself in that capacity. Energy, just like I'm talking about energy. And so, yeah, no, we've been taught, manipulated, and conditioned into not believing these things are real on purpose, but they are, and we need to pay attention to them, or we get hurt, or if we don't find out how to protect our own energy, and where our energy actually really does lie, and how to clean our energy and clear our energy, and how to recognize forces outside of ourselves that are trying to influence, because we are influential. We can be influenced very easily if we don't know how to protect ourselves, and how to clear ourselves, and how to cleanse ourselves, and how to stand in our own truth, and how to stand in our own godhood, our own expression and creation of God within us. And it has to be in a balanced way. Like I said, it really needs to be in a balanced way. And there's so many ways that you need that you have to get balanced, though. I mean, like, that's why we are imperfect, and that's okay, because that means we can learn. That's good. That's the awesomest thing in the world, is that you can learn. You can learn. Like, nothing is perfect. That's a falsity. That's a lie that keeps us from trying to attain something that's unattainable. And it's just not what we are. It's not what our potential is and what we're capable of. And so, Yeah, I have so many insights. It's ridiculous. I've learned a lot, a lot. I have ascended masterism in my veins, though, yo. Like it's great. It's awesome. It's made me grateful, like I said. Um, yeah. So that's some, and that's MK Ultra stuff as well. Like that's manipulation and control tactics were made by MK Ultra, Eastern Stars, Masons, the dark elites from back in the day that the light had to come and take, like had to come and eradicate. And so, and they're not completely eradicated. There's still some remnants, but the things, like I said, that fueled them are gone. And what remains are the ones that fuel the light. And if you call them in, they respect. You have to like light respects, and so you got to ask light to come in, and then you got to be willing to be like accept it too. You like we were conditioned into believing, are conditioned and manipulated into not believing they exist for a reason. And so like when I first started calling on them, I didn't think they were going to show up, and of course they didn't, because I didn't think they were. Like, but they did anyway. They did in that split second. Then, and I just kept calling them in and calling them in. My instinct was to call them in, was to call my light forces in when things started getting hard. And I just kept doing it, even though I couldn't see them, and I couldn't know them in the ways that my God complex mind was thinking I should, or something. My ego mind was thinking this is how it should be done. And I'm still getting rid of that stuff. I'm still clearing it out, clearing, cleansing, removing, releasing, so I can get back to my natural state of being divinely connected, of being innately connected and harmonized within and balanced within. And this is all just within me, like, but I got to remove those energetic blockages that have been created over the years and over the millennia and over the lifetimes, and DNA and ancestry and all that stuff, galactic ancestry. This goes back like as old as your soul is, when you started incarnating and stuff like that. That's why the patterns repeat. I'm actually on the good side of Dharma right now. Like I've dealt with all my karma of all my time, and that's why I know I'm good where I'm at. And anything that messes with me is they're gonna have to incur their karma, and that's their walk of life. Like shit, don't fuck with somebody that knows that's on their path for real. Like with somebody that is connected with God, they will call down judgment in whatever way that you think that like a mortal mind is going to think how karma is going to come is not going to be the way that God does it. And that's the thing about like releasing it to God. Like I don't know either. Like I am God's walking karma and justice, and I call it in and I anchor it in, but I have no idea how it's going to happen. Like because I'm not God, and I leave that up to God because I'm not God, and I don't need to be trying to make myself believe I'm a God in any way where I need to be knowing any of that. Like for real. Like God said to me, like he's like, you're an observer, you call in the justice. That's all you do. You do not energetically attach to it in any way, or it'll make it so it can't come in. So I had to completely release and forgive and love and have compassion and have all the energetic blocks removed that kept me from being able to do that, so karma could come in, so justice could come in for all the wrongdoings that were done and all the negative things that have happened, and for the people that have been trying to pretend it didn't happen, things that trying to pretend that things didn't exist when they did, the hurt that they caused, and trying to act like they didn't. No, accountability. It's time for accountability. And that's what God's judgment. He just needed somebody to bring it in, and I was willing to do it, and I'm still willing to do it. I call in Archangel Michael all the time. I'm like, I want to be Archangel Michael. You know what I mean? Like I want him to be proud of me, at least of being a creation that's worthy of his truth and his sword. Like I even imagine having a sword, man, and fucking fighting with it and shit, yo. Like, and I hope that I honor him, and that he respects me in a way that is right for him. Like that's what I aspire to be, to be good in the eyes of Archangel Michael, to wield his sword, to be his sword of truth here, and the dimensions where it needs to be, where he can't come in, and he can't corporeal lies into. I'm here though, and I'm part of him, so I can bring him in that way. I am corporealized. Corporeal. I can't say the word. Corporealized. I don't know. Something like that. Where you're corporeal. Where you're manifested into 3D. When you're manifested into the physical reality, is when it's corporeal. Something like that. Anyway. So yeah, and then I merge myself with Archangel Michael's vibrations, and then he can come and manifest through me. That is my intention. That is my desire. That is my want. That is my want for God. That is my want for all. And so that's what I do. Like I'm nothing's going to stand in the way of that. Nothing will stand in the way of my mission to God, because it's for God. Like, who the fuck says no to God? Nobody. For the good of all. Who does that? Nobody. It isn't about one person. It's about everybody. That's what it really, for real, lessen the pain, lessen the hurt, for truth to come in, for truth and justice, and for our ancestors, for the pain that I'm letting my ancestors' pain and justice come through me as well. Like, this goes lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes. And that's why, like, if you want to talk down on my ancestors, play with them. Go ahead. Like, for real, dude. You want to talk bad? That's on you, dude. Like, I wouldn't be talking shit about your ancestors. I know better. Like, that's dumb. Especially when they have their ancestors activated within them and without them, throughout them. Like I said, this is energetic. This is the energetic ball field. This is completely different than anything that we thought. The dimensions, the realities, the existences, the energy, how energy is comprised, and in what ways, and in what potentiality there is, and so on and so forth. You know what I mean? There's a lot to it, and it's cool to learn and to come back to the knowing of already, because it's already within me. That's what's so crazy, to come back to who you already are. It's like, this is what I already am. Like, I call forth within me all the time things that I know are within me, because I'm part of God, and I'm a creation part of, I'm a creation of God, an expression of God, which means I have everything within me. So all I gotta do is call on it, and it'll come forth from me. You know what I mean? That's all I gotta do, and stay true to it. And that's what I aspire to do. That's what I try and do. That's what I call forth, all sorts of virtues and God qualities and Godhood, God entities, God energies, within me, to come out and to manifest out through me and be with me in my experience always. Like, one of my intentions is that for my ancestors, for my highest good, I absorb them. I absorb their energy, and I ask them to come through me, and then I surrender to them, and I say, because I really mean it. Like, I want them, for my highest good, to come out, and I want to absorb their qualities. I want to absorb their energies. I want to experience this life with their energies. Like, I really do. Like, they're the ones that created me. I wouldn't be here if they hadn't been here first, and I carry their pain and their happiness with me. And it comprises all of me. So I would want them to be part of that experience with me at all times. That's one of the things I do. I do lots of stuff though. Yeah. So there's another nugget of wisdom for today. And that was just more about, like, controlling techniques and manipulate, because, like, people aren't aware, and that's why I share these videos, and that's why I've had such opposition and such targeting on my energies, because of the ancient wisdom that's within me that no one can take. And so I embraced it, because that's what everybody hated about me anyway. And they didn't even know why. And I figured it out by all of them doing the same fucking thing for some reason. They were all opposing me for the same reason, but it didn't need to. They were best friends, family. It was stupid. It was dumb. But it was body. It was vessel. It was body jumping is what it was. It was low vibrational vessel jumping. And that's what I mean. I saw the same face from my son, my daughter, my mom, and my best friend, the same eyes looking at me. They said different things to me, and they said some hurtful, evil, diabolical. And I looked at them, and I was like, what? And they're like, I don't know. And they didn't. That was the fucked up thing. They didn't know. And that's because they literally got an entity. They had an entity jump in and attack me while it could, and then jump out. And that happened 4 separate times by people that I loved, and they said some cruel things. Like, one of the times I, like, belted over because it hurt so bad in my stomach. Like, I mean, I was just, and they attacked my solar plexus like no other as well, my sacral. And I'm still trying to come out of the energetic hooks and things that have just been, put within me since I was young by these energies and these forces. And thank God, God's stronger, like. But we're in a mixed up world. We're in a mixed up vibrational world, like, for real. Like, there's enmeshments. There's so many things we can't see, and we were taught not to believe to see on purpose, but it actually does happen. And there's things that are hurt us, and we don't even know, because we've been conditioned into not looking to see that they're there. Implants and everything, energetic implants and everything, to make it so you can't see something that is hurting you, that you keep engaging in over and over. You're not realizing that it's your choice, that instead you blame it on somebody else, do something else, Make it so it isn't your problem when it actually is, because you're the one that has to deal with the negative, effects of it. So it ends up having to be your problem. Then you can't point it on somebody. If you're suffering from it, then it's your problem to deal with. You're the only one that can stop your own suffering. It's your suffering that's yours in particular to you. So yeah, more to come. Like I said, oppressive techniques only fuel my fire. You know, if energies keep coming at me and trying to project at me, I'm going to keep speaking my truth louder and louder. It's going to keep coming out, and I'm going to keep, and that's good. That's the spiritual phoenix mode, man. That's come at me. See, I turn my pain into power every fucking time, and I always will, for the highest good of all, for the best of all, to lessen suffering, for unity consciousness, compassion, understanding, care, love, unconditional love, unconditional love. That's the main thing. Unconditional love. We all deserve it. It's something we all yearn for. Well, I'm an active warrior, and yeah, I fight for it for real, because it's something that we all want. We all yearn for. We all understand. We all can relate to. It's all within us. We all know, even if we don't want to know. We do.